Research shows that we lose almost 40% of our productive time every day. This loss in productive time can stem from a variety of factors, including frequent interruptions, procrastination, and lack of proper planning. And in today's video, I will share with you 7 productivity tools, apps, and techniques that you can use to reclaim this 40% of your lost time every single day. Before we get started, a quick reminder to 80% of you who haven't yet subscribed to my channel to do so now and click on the notification bell icon so that you can find my videos in your feed as soon as they are released. This is a small gesture at your end but means the world to me. This lets me know that you find value in the content that I bring to you and helps with channel growth. So thank you for subscribing, and now let's get started. The first technique that I have for you is to schedule your task list. Work expands to fill time when you do not have a to-do list. I use my calendar to schedule time for each task on my to-do list. You can use Microsoft or Google Calendar to schedule your to-do list. Making activities time-bound helps you focus on them without getting distracted by all the other things that you need to do. When you do not have a list, you keep reminding yourself to do the other tasks while you are in the middle of a task. This causes distraction and breaks the rhythm. As soon as the rhythm is broken, you're not tempted to go back, check your email, or respond to a text message, and before you know, you've spent hours on distractions rather than completing the task in hand. When you make a task list and schedule it on your calendar according to the priority or urgency, you have clarity of what you will do next and the assurance that you have time slotted on your calendar to do the next task. This will help your brain focus on the current task because now it won't have to worry about remembering the other tasks that you need to complete. The next is to change your default meeting duration. This technique is all about optimizing meetings. Instead of defaulting to a standard 30-minute meeting or an hour-long meeting, try setting your meeting duration to 25 minutes or 50 minutes. This forces everyone in the meeting to stay on the agenda, to be concise, to get to the point sooner, and eliminate unnecessary chit-chat. By being intentional in your time, you will find that you accomplish just as much, if not more, in a shorter period of time. In the same vein, if you accomplish what you intended to do sooner than the planned time, give the time back to the attendees and end the meeting. I see so many professionals who find it hard or who struggle to close the call if the purpose of the meeting is achieved before the scheduled time. They feel like it's a crime to end the call before the time and look for other topics just to fill in that time. There's no need, absolutely no need to hang on to the call if what you intended to accomplish has been accomplished. The attendees will appreciate the time back. If you are in the meetings all day, every day, just like I am, this one technique will help you save at least 5 to 10 hours per week. The next technique that I want to share with you is automating notes taking during the call. Automating notes taking during the call can be a game changer for your productivity. On an average, a person spends about 1.5x the time that is spent on the calls to actually write and send the meeting notes. So you end up spending more time writing the meeting notes and sending to the stakeholders as opposed to the time that you're spending on the meetings. Instead of frenetically scribbling down important information or struggling to recall key points discussed in a meeting, you can leverage technology to streamline the process. I use the transcribe feature in Microsoft Teams. With this feature, you can easily capture and transcribe conversations during meetings, making it easy to refer back to the important information later. Now, this automated note-taking eliminates the need to manually jot down the notes, allowing you to fully engage in the discussion and actively contribute into the conversation without really worrying about memorizing everything or taking notes during the meeting. The transcriptions are readily available within Teams, so you can easily search for specific keywords or phrases, making it incredibly convenient to retrieve and review essential details. Now, if you don't have Microsoft Teams, you can also use other AI tools like Otter.ai or Firefly.ai to take meeting notes. By leveraging these powerful tools, you can optimize your call productivity and improve collaboration. You no longer have to spend time writing meeting notes after the meeting. That's another 5 to 8 hours saved each week. The next technique that I want to talk about is setting expectations with your team. Did you know that a person is interrupted on an average every 3 minutes during the work hours? And it takes them about 23 minutes to get back on track once they are interrupted. Now, these interruptions can significantly impact our focus and productivity throughout the day. Most of us work in an office setup that requires collaboration. It doesn't matter whether we work in a remote environment or a hybrid or an in person setting. We frequently receive impromptu emails and messages on Slack or Teams or other internal messaging tools or phone calls. In the beginning of my career, I would get so overwhelmed with the requests that would come my way all day long. People would email me and then text me to let me know that they had emailed me. And if I didn't respond to that text, they would actually call me to make sure that I got their email request. I was so busy fielding these requests that I could never really get to my to-do list that I had planned for the day. What worked for me was when I started setting the right expectations with my team. I told them that I typically check my emails twice a day and respond to the emails within 24 hours. If they need a response immediately, they should mark the emails urgent in the subject line. I also make myself available 1 hour a day for my team. For the rest of the day, I set my status to do not disturb on internal messaging tool if I'm working on something that's critical and needs my undivided attention. I tell my team not to disturb me unless it's urgent and can't wait until the scheduled time. By doing so, I can focus on my work without being distracted and can be more productive. The same way, my team can then focus on their work without being distracted either because they now know the window during which they can approach me in case they have any concerns or they want to talk about and get my input on things. Next, I'm going to talk about a feature that I use extensively. I use the airplane or focus mode on my iPhone extensively. On an average, people spend around 3 hours and 15 minutes on their phone each day. This time is usually spent on watching TikTok or Instagram Reels or purposelessly browsing the internet. This is a significant amount of time that could be better utilized for important tasks or personal growth. To combat the distractions from constant notifications, use the airplane mode or the focus mode on your phone. Before you begin a task, turn on the focus mode. Now, we always feel that we will miss out on an impromptu call or a big opportunity if we turn on the focus mode or if we are not available next to our phone. Now, there are two ways to address this concern. One is that you can create a focus group and add people whom you are expecting calls from during that day in that group. By doing so, you can still be reached during your focus time if required. Second, you can set a timer to check your phone at regular intervals to make sure that you address any urgent calls. By using this technique, you can eliminate interruptions and focus on the task at hand. Whether you're working on an important project or simply need some undisturbed time to concentrate, this is a great way to minimize distractions and improve your productivity. Now, speaking of distractions, let's discuss how you can optimize your leisure time as well. It's easy to fall into the trap of mindlessly scrolling through social media or binge watching the same old TV shows. But here's a productivity hack for you. Change what you binge on. Instead of wasting time on content that really doesn't add value to you, opt for educational or inspirational content. Explore documentaries, TED Talks, or podcasts that expand your knowledge and provide a fresh perspective. You'll be entertained while feeding your mind with useful insights. I typically keep a notebook next to me while watching content on social media. If I find content that's thought provoking, I make a note of it. I further research on it or leverage it as needed. This way, I enjoy my time and learn something new in the process. And the last technique that I want to talk to you about is simplifying your daily routine. Simplifying your daily routine is such a powerful technique to increase productivity and reduce stress. If you don't have a routine, what happens is that work expands to fill time. Research shows that the biggest hurdle to being productive is actually not getting started. By bringing productivity into your schedule, you can train your mind to get started on things sooner. Developing pre-work rituals like organizing the workspace and putting yourself in the focus or do not disturb mode signals your brain that it's time to get started. and it's time to start working on your to-do list. Other thing that many leaders do to simplify their routine is to create a capsule wardrobe, like a few basic t-shirts and bottoms. By doing so, they eliminate the decision fatigue and save valuable time each morning. When your brain doesn't have to make those decisions early in the morning on mundane tasks like getting dressed up or having your breakfast, then what the brain can do is brain can really focus on the things that you need to accomplish, like tasks on your to-do list. Some people also leverage meal prepping to save time and avoid decision fatigue. By simplifying your wardrobe, schedule, meal preps, and commitments, you can create a harmonious and efficient daily routine that helps you maximize your productivity and allows for more time and energy to be invested in things that truly matter. So those were some ways, tools, techniques, and apps that you can use to maximize your productivity and reclaim the lost hours. I hope you'll give these a try. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and comment. And also, if you are one of those 80% of people who haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love for you to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a successful week. Bye-bye.